Welcome back to Easy Mathematics. Today we are here to teach how to prepare the lesson plan based on the new curriculum. As a friend, a brother asked how to prepare the lesson plan for Basic 7 using or based on the new curriculum. Good. Now, to prepare your lesson plan for Basic 7 based on the new curriculum, you need the curriculum itself because that is our source of information. Then we also need the weekly scheme of work. And this one will be given by the school telling you what you have to teach every week. So this is the weekly scheme of work. Then we have this one, which is the daily scheme of work. Now with this one, you can get a soft copy, you can make it yourself and run photocopies so that anytime you are preparing for the week, you can go for it. Because this one shows the daily scheme of work. I will explain the things written on it. Now, when you come back to the weekly scheme of work, it tells you what you are to teach every week. So if you are in the first week, this is telling us that we are to teach the strand number 1 and its substrand 1. Good. But today's lesson plan, we want to use the week 8, which is telling us that on week 8, we are to teach strand 2 algebra. We are to teach strand 2 algebra and substrand 1 patterns and relations. When you come to the content standard, when we say content, it simply means what the thing actually entails. So what it entails is the drive, the rule for a set of points of a relation. The continuation or the continuation, is in the curriculum where you find the one there. Good. Then when you come here, we have indicators. Indicators actually tells us what we are to teach or what you are to teach for the learners to know. So with the week 8, we are to teach this, which says that extend a given relation presented with and. So to the continue, you have it in the curriculum. Then you have to also teach, describe the rule for a given relation using. So when you come to the curriculum, we have strand 2, strand 2 algebra, substrand 1, we have pattern and relations. So what we read from the scheme of work, which is extend a given relation presented with. When you come to the curriculum, you will see the full statement there, which says that extend a given relation presented with and without symbolic materials and explain how each element differs from the preceding one. So that is what we are to teach for week 8. And also, when you come down there, you can see the written describe the rule for a given relation, and that one too you will also see it in the curriculum. And that one is this one. It says describe the rule for a given relation using mathematical language such as one more, one less, one more than twice, and etc. So that is what we are to teach. So we are to teach this on the 8th week. Good. Now, how can I prepare my lesson plan for 8th week, which probably is next week, let's say? Now that I have my daily scheme of work, on the daily scheme of work, you have these informations that has been provided, and you have to also provide some informations there. We have week ending. When we say week ending, it simply means when we are in the 8th week, when will the 8th week end? It will end on Friday. So if that Friday will be, let's say, 28th May, then you write week ending, we are just going to write 28th May 2022. So what it means is that at the end of that week, we will be done teaching whatever we are about to write here. Then we have class, and the class, you just write the class you are going to teach with. So you are going to teach basic 7. So the class is basic 7. Then we have the subject, of course, is mathematics. Then we have the reference. The meaning of the reference is that the information that we provided, the plan that we've done, where did we pick it from? We picked it from the curriculum. That is why we've written curriculum here. Now we have here learning indicator. With the learning indicator, after the reference, you can see learning indicator. After the learning indicator, what it actually means is what are you going to teach the kids or the learners? What are you going to teach the learners? How can I know the learning indicator? You can know the learning indicator from the weekly scheme of work. Here. Now, when you come to the weekly scheme of work, we have substrand, content standard, and we have indicators. And which week are we preparing? We are preparing for the 8th week. So locate the indicator for the 8th week. This is the indicators. So the 8th week is this one. So this is the indicators. Good. Now, learning indicator, it simply means what are the kids going to know? Or what are you going to teach the kids? We have been asked to teach these two things. Extend a given relation represented with and without a symbolic material. From the curriculum, that's what we were told. And we are to also teach them to describe the rule for a given relation. So for the learning indicator, you pick it from the indicator in the weekly scheme of work. And what does it say? It says extend a given, which is this one. Extend a given relation. So with the learning indicator, we are going to write learners will, that's what we are coming to teach them. So learners will do what? Learners will extend a given relation. So since you don't have the continuous, so you come to the curriculum, then you continue it there. So learners will extend from this place. Learners will extend it. So we are, for the learning indicator, we are going to say learners will extend a given relation presented with, and so that's what we are going to write as I'm writing here, with and without symbolic materials. So let's say symbolic materials. Then also we are to teach them how to describe the rule. So we'll write that one also. The space here is very small, so I had to excuse them for me to be able to write. So learners will describe the rule for a given relation. Actually, the learning indicator space is small. That's why I have to excuse the writing there. So the learning indicator simply means what we are coming to teach the kids. And you'll find them on the indicators at the weekly scheme of work. So the week that you are handling, it is week 8. So this will be the learning indicator. So you start by writing learners will extend. So that is what the learning indicator actually is. Then after the learning indicator, you have the performance indicator. And what the performance indicator is actually asking us is that after teaching the kids what you are coming to teach them, what can they do? So we are going to say learners will be able to extend. So that will be the performance indicator. So I am actually going to teach them this. I'm going to teach them extend a given relation presented with and without a symbolic material. So the performance indicator is going to be, now the learners will be able. Why would they be able? Because of what I've taught them. So we are going to write, learners will be able. So what we are going to add is learners will be able. Then we continue from extend. So learners will be able to extend a given relation, presented with and without a symbolic materials. Then with the second one, we have learners will describe. So for the performance indicator, we will say learners will be able to describe the rule for a given relation. So just cut it short. So with the learning indicator, it's actually what the learners are going to learn. Good. What they are going to learn. Then the performance indicator is what the learners can now do after learning. So what you just add is learners will be able, to extend a given relation. That is the performance indicator. Then with the learning indicator, the learners will, that is what they are going to do. Good. Then when you come down here after the performance indicator, you have strand. And how will you know the strand? Just look at the week that you are handling. It is week 8. So the strand, you just take it there, you write strand number, then the name, then substrand, you write the substrand number, you write the strand is strand 2. So you can see it boldly, strand 2, and the name is algebra. Then it's substrand 1, it's patterns and relations, so you write patterns and relations. Good. Then when you come under the substrand, you have T resource, which is teaching resource or teacher resource. Actually, I say the teaching resource. The teaching resource simply means when you were teaching the case or when you are going to teach the case, what are the resources you are going to use? Good. The first thing that we use is a curriculum. Because we don't have the textbooks for basic 7. I don't know if they are all out, but we don't have the book for basic 7. So we use the curriculum and the mathematics textbook, which is the Aquila, the old edition of the old curriculum, Aquila math textbooks. So these are the resources we can use in teaching the learners this topic. Good. Now when you come here, you have to know the meaning of these things. Then you apply them whilst teaching. You have days. Of course, we know the day simply means the day we are teaching. So Monday we teach maths. Tuesday we are going to teach. Wednesday we are going to teach. And Thursday we are going to teach. So for instance, I teach mathematics from Monday to Thursday. Good. So that means I'm going to prepare from Monday up to Thursday. Fridays, I don't teach mathematics. I use them for my other business. Good. So we have here starter, we have main, and we have reflection. Now the starter takes 10 minutes when the duration for the period is 1 hour. And what do you do during the starter? You have to prepare the brain for learning. If the topic you're about to introduce to the case is new, is something new, they've not heard of it, it's something new, then you try to bring a song relating to the topic you are coming to teach or the strand you are coming to teach. So when you look at this patterns and relation, try and see if you can figure out numbers or song that can relate to the topic you're about to present. so that it will prepare their brain for learning. Because they will be dull when you are coming to teach them, so you have to do a starter. So the starter is 10 minutes. It is actually 10 minutes when your period you have for the subject is 1 hour. But if it is 30 minutes, then the starter takes only 5 minutes. So since we are coming to do patterns and relationships, we can even use this 2, 4, 6, 1, 1, Caro. These are local language. Ofe osiaweti amachi dede kalaba pipi kalaba pancha besi enwani ebediada moma yenkwe. Or you can even say if you say 2 you are out, but if you say you are, so that music 2, 4, 6. So as they are doing the 2, 4, 6, it will prepare their brain and telling them that okay, so it means it is following a certain pattern. And what we are coming to talk about is patterns and what? Relationships. Good. So you bring in a song to prepare their brain for the class. But if what you are coming to teach, you've taught them previously, you just have to revise what you taught previously to prepare their brain for the class. Then we have the main 40 minutes, and we have here new learning, including assessment. So that is where you are coming to teach what you are to teach. So that is the new learning, including assessment. So as you teach, you assess them through questions and answers, and probably anything that you think you can use to assess the kids. Now that one too is 40 minutes. If the duration for the period is 1 hour, it's 40 minutes. If the duration for the period is 1 hour, good. Then we have reflection, and you can see here it is 10 minutes. We have learners and teachers. Now with this one, you can give homeworks, you can give an exercise, you can throw questions for them to answer, for them to respond and give you, the teacher, a clue or a reward that what you've taught, it has been understood by the kids. Good. Now let's look at how to prepare the plan for Monday. Good. Now what am I teaching? Remember, we are going to teach them to extend a given relation presented with or without a symbolic material. So the information is needed. You have to go to the curriculum. Just as I told you that to do that, you need your curriculum. Good. So this is the indicator that we wrote at the learning indicator column. The learners will extend a given relation represented with and without symbolic material. So this is it. Good. Now when you come to the curriculum, you can see the written example 1, which says extend a given symbolic relation. Now when we say symbolic relation, it means you are going to use a stick. Even so, our teaching resource, we can even write stick, because we can use it as a symbolic pattern for the kids to understand. Good. So before we come to the learning, the new learning, let's prepare for the brain. So because it is something new and the kids have not been taught anything about it, we are just going to write and say engage learners with an activity to make them ready for the class. So an activity could be a song which will introduce what we are about to teach to them. So let's say the one we just sang, 2, if you say that one, if you say 1, you are out, but if you say 2, so they will get into 2, 4, 6. So you can say, okay, if you say 5, you are out, but if you say 10, you are in. So 10, 20, 30. So they will know that, okay, it is following a certain pattern, which means we are come to talk about patterns and what? Relationships. So you engage learners with an activity for them to be ready or to prepare their brain for the class. Good. Now that we are done with the learning, with the starter, now that's the main thing we are come to do. What is the main thing? Come to the curriculum. Under the indicator, which is this one, you have example 1. It means you have to teach this. You have example 2. It means you have to also teach this. Good. So, on Monday, what do I have to teach? I'm going to teach the case how to extend a given symbolic relation. So you write here, at the new learning. This is what we are coming to teach them. The example 1, extend a given symbolic relation. So we will write at the main learning, including assessment, guide learners. You are going to guide learners to do what? Extend. So you write, to extend a given relation, a given symbolic relation. So on Monday, which is the 8th week, I'm going to teach this. By guiding the learners, I'm guiding learners to extend a symbolic relation. Now, when you say symbolic, you have to know that it means you are going to represent the thing with something, then they follow. Just as the example they've given you in the curriculum. So you can rewrite everything here, this thing. You can rewrite it there. Not all, but write what you can. So with the symbolic relation, so we can draw the symbols that they've given us. When you look at the first pattern, they have something like this. When you come to the second pattern, they are having something, okay, like this. Because actually I'm using one hand for the camera, I'm sorry the lines are not straight, but since you have to present this to your proprietor or to your headmaster, please, you have to use ruler, because you know mathematics is full of neatness. So we have the third pattern. So you can see that that is how it follows. Then you write the question down. So on Monday, this is what we are going to teach the kids. We are going to guide the learners to extend a given symbolic relation. Are you getting it? Good. So the question even there in the curriculum can even guide you. You can use the question there, then you have it there. Or see, it says that study the pattern made with sticks and draw the 5th pattern. So this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. So you follow this one to get the 4th one, to get the 5th one. Good. Then that is what you are going to teach on Monday. Actually, because of the time, we can go through all one after the other. So now that I know what I'm going to teach on Monday, this is what I'm teaching, then I have another 10 minutes, which is the reflection. So with the reflection, you can say, the learners and teachers, you can write, I say, let learners practice with more examples. Let learners practice with more examples, where you can give an exercise or you can probably give homework if it's okay for the kids, but they have to practice with more examples after you teaching the main learning or the main activity for the day. So on Monday, this is what I'm going to teach. Now I'm done for Monday. I'm to come to Tuesday. Now, because I've started the topic with them, which was yesterday, I don't have to come back and say engage learners with an activity again. No, I'm just going to write revise on previous lesson to prepare to prepare learners for the lesson. So with the 10 minutes here for the starter, what we did on Monday, it means Tuesday when we meet, we are going to revise on it so that they will be prepared for the next one. Now, how will I get the next one? The next one, you come here, they've written example 2. Study the pattern of numbers below and complete the table. And complete the what? The table. So we can say we are going to guide learners to study patterns of table and complete it. Or we can say guide learners to study pattern of numbers and complete a table. So we can write down one. Guide learners to study the pattern of numbers and complete the table. Okay, again too, we have here, it said extend a given number relation. So looking at the time, if you think you can teach that one, you write it. Guide learners, which is this one, guide learners to extend a given number relation. But if you think that within that time we cannot teach, you can complete only this one and you will not get to the other one, you can choose to take it to what? To the next day. Then here too, you also write, let learners practice with more example. Because for the mathematics, after you teaching the kid or the learner, you have to let the learner practice more. And you cross-check if the thing is correct. If it is not correct, then you go over it again. Maybe the kid don't understand. So actually, because of time, I can explain all. Else the number of time that I'm going to get can be very huge. So far, I think that is how I prepare my lesson note based on the new curriculum. But I'll prefer you get this one, which will help you to make it easier and easier. You can contact me, we'll talk, and we'll know what to do in terms of preparing your lesson plan. Thank you. This is Easy Mathematics. Actually, my face is not showing because I'm behind it and had to do all these things. If God permit us, next week we'll upload our first video for the term. It could be Basic 7 or Form 2. Thank you. Stay tuned. This is Easy Mathematics. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.